Senior, over 60? This oil improves blood flow in your legs fast. Did you know that the tired, heavy, cold feeling in your legs may not be simple aging at all? Research shows millions of older adults live with lower leg circulation problems, and many never feel the classic warning pain. I am Dr. Alina Serratia, and today I want to show you a simple daily strategy that may support healthier blood flow in your legs, protect your independence. Stay with me, because the number one oil in this video is science-backed, and it may surprise you. Comment below and tell me what you feel most often: cold feet, leg cramps, swelling, or numbness. Research shows peripheral artery disease, often called PAD, affects more than 6.5 million Americans age 40 and older. Age over 60 is one of the risk factors. Studies found that up to 4 in 10 people with PAD report no leg pain at all. That matters because many seniors ignore the earliest signs. You may notice slower walking, aching calves, shiny skin, weak pulses, numb toes, or feet that always feel colder than the rest of you. Ever wondered why this happens even when you try to stay active? Here is the simple picture. Your arteries are like flexible garden hoses. They carry oxygen and nutrients down to your thighs, calves, ankles, and feet. Over time, fatty plaque can narrow those hoses. At the same time, stiff blood vessels do not relax as well, and your calf muscles may not pump blood upward with the same force they once did. Here's what happens when you stand, walk, or climb stairs. Your leg muscles ask for more oxygen, but narrowed vessels struggle to deliver it. That gap creates heaviness, cramping, weakness, and that strange, drained feeling after a short walk. But here's the shocking part most seniors do not know. The danger is not always the pain. Research shows the 2024 American Heart Association guideline found that only 1/3 of people with proven PAD have the classic calf pain. Doctors call it claudication. Many others have unusual symptoms, or they quietly stop walking enough to trigger symptoms. Studies found 20 to 59% of people with proven PAD report no leg symptoms at all. That means poor circulation can stay hidden while walking ability, balance, and confidence slowly decline. Comment hidden if your legs feel off even though doctors have told you everything looks normal. If this keeps getting worse, the effect spreads into daily life. A short trip to the store feels longer. You avoid stairs. You sit more because moving feels harder. Then the calf muscles weaken, which reduces your natural leg pump even more. Poor flow also raises concern because the same plaque process can affect the heart and brain. Research shows people with PAD face a higher risk of heart attack and stroke. Now, this is important. I am not saying every cold foot means blocked arteries. Vein problems, nerve issues, medicines, dehydration, and joint problems can also play a role. But I am saying your legs deserve attention, not dismissal. Before I show you the solutions, let me tell you about Margaret, age 68. I changed names, but this pattern is real. Margaret first noticed her legs felt heavy by late afternoon. Then came night cramps and cold feet under thick socks. She thought she simply needed to rest more. Over months, she stopped walking with her neighbor because she felt embarrassed by how often she needed to pause. Her mood sank with her activity. She tried random internet remedies, but nothing lasted because she never addressed the habits quietly working against her circulation. Comment cramps if that sounds familiar, and let me know your age as well. The first thing to avoid is tobacco, including cigarettes and other nicotine products. Here's what happens when nicotine hits your system. Blood vessels tighten, the vessel lining becomes less healthy, and oxygen delivery becomes less efficient. Research shows smoking is one of the strongest risk factors for PAD, and it makes symptoms worse. But here's the shocking part. Most people do not know. Even if you have smoked for years, each cigarette still creates a fresh wave of vessel stress. For seniors, that means the body has less reserve. Margaret's walking improved only after she finally treated smoking as a circulation emergency instead of a side habit. The second thing to avoid is sitting for long, unbroken stretches. Most seniors know sitting too much is not ideal, but few realize how quickly it can affect circulation. Here's what happens when you sit for hours. Your calf muscles stay quiet, blood pools more easily, and the helpful rubbing force of blood against vessel walls drops. That rubbing force helps blood vessels stay flexible. A 2025 American Heart Association trial in 407 sedentary postmenopausal women found this. Adding sit-to-stand transitions lowered diastolic blood pressure and improved systolic pressure as well. But here's the shocking part. You can be someone who walks once a day and still sit enough to hurt your circulation the rest of the time. The third thing to avoid is a steady diet of ultra-processed meals, rich in saturated fat, salt, and sugar. Research shows the American Heart Association and Mayo Clinic both warn that diets high in saturated fat raise vascular risk. Here's what happens when those meals dominate your plate. They promote inflammation, worsen blood pressure, strain blood sugar control, and make plaque problems harder to manage. Salt also pulls more fluid into the wrong places, which can worsen swelling. Let me tell you about Walter, age 74. He lived on deli meat sandwiches, chips, and frozen dinners. His socks left deep marks by evening. When he shifted his meals, the swelling started to ease within weeks. The fourth thing to avoid is ignoring diabetes, cholesterol, and blood pressure numbers because you feel mostly fine. Most seniors do not know high blood sugar can injure the vessel lining and nerves at the same time. High blood pressure makes the vessel walls harder and less responsive. High LDL cholesterol helps feed plaque. Here's what happens when all three stay unchecked. The pipes narrow, the lining stiffens, and the legs receive less of what they need during movement. Let me tell you about Rose, age 81. She kept saying, "It is just old age." In truth, untreated blood pressure and high sugar were making every step harder. One more quick point before we move on. Research shows Mayo Clinic notes that PAD can also show up as shiny skin, slower nail growth, weak pulses, or sores that do not heal. Here's what happens when these clues get brushed aside for months. People move less, muscles weaken, and foot problems can become big mobility problems. If you have noticed skin changes, poor wound healing, or one foot colder than the other, comment warning signs. I will know to make a full video on that next. And stay with me. The number one solution works best when you catch these issues early and pair it with the simple routine I am about to show you. Let me tell you about David, age 65. He never had classic calf pain. Instead, he felt leg fatigue after carrying groceries from the car. During a routine visit, his clinician checked circulation because his foot pulse felt weak. That early conversation changed everything. He cleaned up breakfast, walked after dinner, and replaced butter with extra virgin olive oil. 6 weeks later, he told me his legs felt less tight on stairs, and he had more trust in his balance. Comment fatigue if your legs feel tired long before they feel painful. Now let's turn this around. Number 5 is the hourly calf pump break. Do you know what happens when you stand up, rise onto your toes, or take a 2-minute walk? Your calf muscles squeeze like a second heart and help push blood back upward. That means less pooling and better flow through the lower legs. Research shows structured exercise is a core part of care for people with symptomatic PAD. The 2024 guideline and a 2025 American College of Cardiology review both emphasize that supervised or structured walking improves walking ability and quality of life. Start with 2 minutes every hour or 20 heel raises while holding a counter. Let me tell you about James, age 72. He thought exercise meant a full gym session, so he did nothing. His legs felt wooden after long television afternoons. I asked him to use every commercial break as a movement alarm. He stood, marched in place, and did slow calf raises. Within 10 days, he noticed less ankle tightness when he stood up. Within 3 weeks, he walked through the grocery store without leaning on the cart as much. The win was not dramatic magic. It was repeated blood flow signals, hour after hour. Comment moving if you are willing to try a 2-minute break tomorrow. Number 4 is nitrate-rich vegetables, especially spinach, arugula, celery, kale, and beetroot. Here's what happens when you eat them. Your body converts dietary nitrate into nitric oxide, a natural signal that helps blood vessels relax and open more effectively. When that signal works well, blood moves with less resistance. Research shows older adults often make less nitric oxide as they age. Studies found older adults can still improve vascular function with regular nitrate-rich intake. If beet juice surprises you, stay with me because the next detail matters for how fast you may feel a difference. A 2021 randomized trial from Maastricht University Medical Center, Radboud University Medical Center, and Hahn University followed 77 middle-aged and older adults with elevated blood pressure across 12 weeks. The group eating about 250 to 300 grams of nitrate-rich vegetables daily lowered daytime systolic blood pressure compared with control. A 2025 University of Exeter trial studied 36 adults in their 60s and 70s. It found nitrate-rich beetroot juice lowered blood pressure in the older group, not the younger one. That does not mean beetroot cures poor circulation. It means some research suggests nitrate-rich foods can support a friendlier vessel environment. The practical use is simple. Add a cup of arugula or spinach to lunch. Roast beets with dinner. If you use beetroot juice, choose an unsweetened product and start modestly. Here's what happens when you take too much too fast. Some people get stomach upset, and some notice pink urine or stool, which can look alarming but is often harmless from beets. If you have kidney stones, kidney disease, or take blood pressure medicine, talk with your clinician first. Many people notice warmer hands and feet, or easier walking, within days to weeks. Before I reveal the number one oil, which of these surprised you most? Comment below. Number 3 is the Mediterranean-style plate. This is not a fad diet. It is a pattern built around vegetables, beans, fruit, nuts, fish, whole grains, and healthier fats. It pushes processed food and heavy saturated fat into the background. Here's what happens when you eat this way. Blood sugar tends to swing less, inflammation tends to ease, and vessel health gets more support from many directions at once. Research shows food works best in teams, not as a single hero. The next study is one of the reasons I take this pattern so seriously for older adults. Studies found the Predimed research group in Spain followed thousands of high-risk older adults. It linked Mediterranean-style eating with lower cardiovascular risk, including peripheral artery disease outcomes. More recently, a 2025 American Heart Journal analysis of 7,102 high-risk adults from the Predimed trial found this pattern. People with the highest extra virgin olive oil intake had a lower overall cardiovascular risk. The authors also reported lower risk for stroke, peripheral artery disease, Antertaschendiabetes, Verweichung as well. In plain language, that means the plate around the oil matters. Walter improved fastest when he stopped asking for one miracle food and built meals that helped his vessels all day. The practical move is this. Fill half your plate with colorful vegetables. Add beans or fish for protein. Choose oats, lentils, or whole grains more often than white bread. Use nuts in small portions. Replace butter-heavy meals with meals centered on plants and olive oil. Here's what happens when you do this consistently. Blood vessels face less of the inflammatory traffic that follows ultra-processed eating. Early changes often show up as steadier energy, lighter legs after meals, and less swelling by evening. The next solution builds on this one. Entramensictioned inquaintories and attracts may be the easiest habit of all. Number 2 is protecting your walking window after meals. Many seniors sit right after breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I understand why. You eat, you get comfortable, and the chair wins. But here's the hidden disaster. Post-meal blood sugar and blood fat surges can stress blood vessels, especially if the meal is large and you stay still. Here's what happens when you take a gentle 10-minute walk after eating. Your muscles use some of that incoming fuel right away, and circulation gets a helpful boost instead of a traffic jam. Research shows home-based walking programs improve pain-free walking distance in people with PAD when the plan is structured, not random. Let me tell you about Helen, age 77. She complained that her legs felt especially heavy after supper. She assumed dinner relaxed her. In reality, dinner followed by 2 hours in a recliner left her stiff and swollen. We kept her meal simple and asked for a slow hallway walk after eating. She resisted at first. Within 2 weeks, her evening ankle swelling eased. Within a month, she told me she felt less pressure in her calves when she went to bed. That small walk became the bridge between eating and circulation. Comment walk if you can give yourself 10 minutes after one meal today. Now we arrive at number 1, the oil that earns the headline, extra virgin olive oil. Choose a fresh, high polyphenol variety when you can find it. Here's what happens when you use real extra virgin olive oil instead of refined fats or butter-heavy spreads. You give your body monounsaturated fat and plant compounds called polyphenols that may help the vessel lining work better. The vessel lining is called the endothelium. It acts like a traffic controller for blood flow. When it works well, vessels relax, blood moves more smoothly, and tissues get better delivery. Research shows a 2021 Yale Griffin Prevention Research Center crossover trial studied 20 adults at risk for type 2 diabetes. Participants took a single 50 milliliter serving of high polyphenol extra virgin olive oil or refined olive oil in a smoothie. 2 hours later, endothelial function improved with the extra virgin olive oil, but not with the refined oil. A 2025 randomized trial in Greece followed 70 participants, including 50 people with hyperlipidemia, for 4 weeks of daily extra virgin olive oil. The study found better microvascular endothelial function, lower diastolic blood pressure, and lower heart rate, with high phenolic olive oil showing stronger effects. This does not mean olive oil opens a blocked artery like a plumbing chemical. I want to be very clear. Olive oil is support, not a cure. But here's the shocking part many people miss. Not all olive oil acts the same. Extra virgin olive oil keeps more of the natural polyphenols because it is less processed. Refined olive oil loses much of that benefit. Harvard Health highlighted this difference when explaining why extra virgin olive oil appears more strongly linked with cardiovascular benefits than common refined olive oil. So if you are using olive oil, quality matters more than fancy labels or dramatic marketing. The practical use is also simple. Aim for 1 to 2 tablespoons a day with food, not as a shot on an empty stomach if that bothers your stomach. Drizzle it over steamed vegetables, beans, salad, lentils, or fish. Use it in place of butter or creamy dressings. Pairing it with vegetables may help because the meal becomes lower in saturated fat and richer in plant compounds at the same time. Here's what happens when seniors make this swap consistently. They often notice less heaviness after meals, steadier energy, and easier walking over several weeks. This is especially true when olive oil replaces poorer fats instead of adding extra calories. Here is what makes this powerful. These strategies stack. The hourly calf pump keeps blood moving. Nitrate-rich vegetables help support nitric oxide. The Mediterranean plate lowers daily vessel stress. A short walk after meals uses fuel and wakes up the calf muscles. Extra virgin olive oil supports the vessel lining. Together, they create a friendlier environment for circulation than any single trick alone. Breakfast can be oatmeal with walnuts, berries, and a side of spinach eggs cooked in a little extra virgin olive oil. Lunch can be bean soup, arugula salad, and olive oil dressing. Dinner can be salmon, roasted beets, green beans, and a 10-minute walk afterward. Now, this is important. Some people need special caution. If you have sudden leg pain, one leg that becomes cold or pale, a non-healing foot sore, chest pain, or new shortness of breath, get medical care quickly. If you have diabetes, kidney disease, kidney stones, low blood pressure, or take blood thinners or blood pressure medicine, ask your healthcare provider how beet products, diet changes, and activity changes fit your plan. Compression socks may help some people with vein-related swelling, but they are not right for everyone, especially if significant PAD is present. Always consult your healthcare provider if symptoms are new, severe, or rapidly worsening. You do not have to accept heavy, cold, tired legs as your future. Research shows movement, meal quality, and the right fats can support better vessel function, and that matters more with every passing decade. Today, we covered what silently makes circulation worse. We also covered the practical habits that can help: less sitting, smarter meals, nitrate-rich vegetables, post-meal walking, and extra virgin olive oil. Stay with me because this part matters most. Your body can still respond to better signals after 60, 70, and even 80. I want you to leave this video feeling hopeful, not scared. You now have the knowledge to test simple habits that respect how the aging body really works. Start small, but start today. Comment one of three things: olive oil walking or beets. Tell me which step you will begin first. Subscribe if you want clear, research-based senior health videos that cut through hype and give you actions you can actually use. In my next video, I will show you the bedtime habit that may reduce nighttime leg cramps and help your feet feel warmer by morning. If this video helped you, share it with someone who needs this information. You might save their life.